Welcome to BUNIYAAD podcast by Dr. Monica Nagpal. We did not inherit this world like this. Then how can we give this to our next generation in this form? We need to reflect mindfully on our core values and make conscious efforts towards protecting the planet and also achieve all sustainable development goals. With BUNIYAAD, I, Monica Nagpal, will bring to fore sustainability champions who are striving to bring back harmony with the nature and also dignity of each life. Namaskar, dosto. Today again we are here with another episode of BUNIYAAD, laying the foundation of sustainable living. And today we have young and dynamic and a wonderful person, Shubhangi Gosh. Welcome, Shubhangi.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Shubhangi is the founder of Sustainable India. So she has gathered so much in her this young age, and everything is going to unfold bit by bit once she starts to speak. And I'm so looking forward for all of you to hear this out. So, Shubhangi, please introduce yourself.
Okay, namaste everyone. As ma'am has wonderfully shared that I'm the co-founder of Sustainable India, but apart from this, I am a biotechnologist and my field is Nutrigenomics, biotechnology, and sustainable menstruation. And this is where I come from a very scientific temperament. But again, everything comes under sustainability, and that is how this initiative started up. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward for this session. Thank you so much.
So wonderful. So we just heard that she has been into so many fields, all scientific fields as such. And during our intro, I was just so amazed, and I was looking, oh my God, at this young age, how can somebody do so much? So I will just ask her to share her professional journey, how it all started, and how she has come this far.
Like you asked, I think when someone asks about our journey, about what we have done so far, I believe we just go in a flashback, and there are a lot of things that comes to our mind. But in a very brief or concise way, I would say that I have been a student in life where I have been learning different aspects of how to be joyful and how to not take things seriously. So these are all little things that I have learned, but I think I have grown up from a space where my parents have been open to transformation, and they have also given me this opportunity to experience life at a different perspective. So there was not a pressure or a challenge to perform in a certain way, because I have never been a very good student when I look at myself being at school. So I think that this is where I have had this opportunity, and everyone should actually have this opportunity of experiencing life as a whole. So when I started my schooling, and then my parents were working as researchers and at a different field, so they used to take me along even though I couldn't understand. At that age I would have simply sat back at home or watched TV or played something, being a single child. But yeah, I had this privilege, I would say. Right now I could say this is privilege, but that time I used to think differently. So they took
Yeah.
me to places to meet people and how they are doing different at their field. So I used to meet people, and I used to think that there are so many things people are doing, and this was very different from other things. Because in school we are taught that these are the fields that you need to apply on, these are the fields you need to study to get good grades. Then after good grades, what is next? You get into good college. After good college, you need to get into a good um,
Job.
company, your job,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So there are certain parameters that has been already prefixed by the society or the norm. So it's right behind, keeps on going inside our mind. But I think that I would say that this is a blessing that I got, as my parents made me meet people, so that give me this experience of what life is. And it is more than, just taking biology as a subject, or just having good marks at JE or NEET. It is more than that. So I
Yes.
believe that this is like my experience, or the brief journey, that how it started up.
And you started off all of this, but what you studied, please share that. What you
Yeah.
actually studied then?
So
Because people will be wondering, what did she study
So
when
I
she.
have done my B.Tech in biotechnology, and my majors were sustainable menstruation and nanobiotechnology. And then I have done my M.Tech in biomedical engineering and bioinformatics. And again, my majors were on nutrigenomics and lifestyle cancer. So these are the things I think that when we take up subjects, it gives us a broader perspective of what science is, and how every subject is integrated. Like, we can't just think that, okay, I've taken bio, I'll just get over the maths part. But after taking biotechnology, and after getting into B.Tech, M.Tech, biomathematics has always been a part. So I believe that when we take subjects after certain age, they add value to our life, to our
Yes.
understanding. And then we have a different scientific perspective to different things and solutions that we need to answer every day. So
Yes.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
done my M.Tech, post that my B.Tech.
Yeah. And you were able to do some job, or you started off in your own way?
Yeah, so I have done my research at National Institute of Plant Genomics and Research. It is NIPGR New Delhi, and it was a genome project, and I used to be doing my research there. But again, I would say that it was something that I really loved, but I think there are plenty of things that one should explore before, just fixing themselves or their aim on certain things. So I think that was the prime point when I started up, but then I gradually explored different dimensions.
Amazing. So here I would like to just share one very beautiful word she has told us is biomathematics. So biomathematics, I've heard this word first time, biomathematics. So we have integrating biology with mathematics. People usually take either or. I like going back to my school days. I thought bio is better because I have to become a doctor, and mathematics is what we used to leave because that is by PC and MPC. That is what we are taught, that you have to choose between these two. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is how now it is so important to understand that each subject is integrated, and we cannot be just studying to do a job. What comes from her is that we are not studying to do job, we are studying to find solutions. That is what beautifully has come out from whatever she has just now spoken. Because we can speak so much to her, but this is a sustainability talk, so I will come back to sustainability here and ask her that when did she start basically working on sustainability.
So, like I said, that I would say that I had this experience from my parents. So, my parents left their conventional career, and they started up their research center. So, they were also challenging their set of beliefs. So, that inspired me to challenge my set of beliefs, and to I used to work as an intern, as a volunteer, because I was studying that time, and I was working somewhere else. So I had my commitments, but I used to make a newsletter which was Samvadita, and it used to cover UNDP sustainable goals. And I had I would be grateful because there were a lot of people that contributed to that magazine, I would say the newsletter. So it was a monthly newsletter. So that was the journey when I got to know about the UNDP goals and what sustainability is about. So essentially, when we think about sustainability, the first thing that comes to our mind is recycling or reusing or protecting nature. But sustainability is much more than that. It is about gender equality, it is about zero hunger, it is about, equal wages to men and women, it is about quality of life
Correct.
essentially.
Yes, absolutely.
So so when I got into this understanding of what sustainability is, I always, as a student, I always aspired to do something on my own as an entrepreneur. But I think this was a dimension, I think this was a gate that opened up by divine grace. And um, this was the initiative under my parents' foundation that we started up, which was Sustainable India. So, Sustainable India started up in the year 2020 when there was COVID. So, we started working. Before that, we were doing our background search and foundational basis. But once we launched up, the name and everything was because even the domain name, having Sustainable India, was all divine grace, that having a domain name, having a website of Sustainable India. So that was, I think, everything. When we aspire for something
Yeah,
very
it
beyond
just falls
our
in
own,
place. Yeah,
yes, it
absolutely.
falls into place.
Oh,
So
and you
yeah.
started off like with being a co-founder of Sustainable India at
Yes,
that
yes,
time, though your magazine was already
yes, yes.
doing
So,
good.
I previously also have a background in sustainable mensuration. So, I have worked because our research center, which is also our ashram, so it is located in a very small village, which is a village Funda in Chhattisgarh. So, my parents resided there at the research center. Uh, so, there were children from the surrounding villages, more than 104 different villages. They used to come and visit the ashram. So there were women, there were adolescent girls. So when I used to come, I used to take have a discussion with them about mensuration, about hygiene practices, how we can maintain our hygiene, because not everyone has the access, like sitting here. And since
Yes,
our life is simpler,
yes,
because we can simply, have this MacBook or whatever it is, we are discussing everything, and we have phones. But there are also people who are struggling to
mm,
live, to survive for a single meal. So for them, reuse, recycle, sustainable lifestyle, fashion does not really make sense to them.
yeah,
For them,
absolutely.
basic need is survival.
Basic needs. Yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
with that basic need, also the important factor that comes is good health and well-being. So a
Mm,
person, when he is healthy from within, only then that person is able to perform with the best of their capacity. If the
mm,
person is not healthy, they won't be able to perform. So
mm.
I believe that when we talk about women, women are working. When we talk about village, women are working at the farms. Women are going back to home. Then they have to cook for their families. Generally, in urban also we are doing, but working at a farm is very tedious process,
Yes, yes,
because in Chhattisgarh the temperature is always high. We don't have winters for a very long period of time, so it's very exhausting. The summers have 40 degree
45. Yeah,
plus
yeah, yeah,
temperature,
yeah.
and these women are working there and then going back home. So who is
And
having
also
that?
fetching water, no, fetching
Yeah.
water from the wells,
Yes,
because
yes,
water is not coming in your taps and in your kitchen like that. No, they have to fetch
yes.
water and all that goes on. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So for them, I believe that there has been a lot of NGOs, there has been a lot of companies who are working for their welfare, but they are working from outside. Because when we started living in the village, we could really see the impact and the gap that these rural population has. When we
Hmm.
think about, okay, government तो ये दे रहा है, government वो दे रहा है, then why are they not getting empowered, why they are
Yeah,
not having a good lifestyle? It is because there
yes,
is a lot of gap. Because
yes.
we make, I would say, we launch different schemes, we launch different programs for them sitting
Hmm.
in an urban place in Delhi or in Mumbai. We are making plans for them. But when we actually live among them, when we are able to see the challenges that they have in
Hmm.
everyday life, we'll be able to work at the grassroots and counter it. So
Absolutely.
that is when I had this background, because I was already working with them. I had this I would say experience, because I was working at grassroots, even though I was not working with big organizations who are already placed in sustainability. But it is very important to understand that what is going on in the grassroots. Only then
Grassroots.
we'll be able to
Yes.
counter it. So
Yes.
this is how I had this experience, and this experience actually was a springboard for me to understand what sustainability is, and then bring all these aspects to a greater level to make others also understand that how they can contribute to the growth of the and
Absolutely.
development of a country as a whole.
I can absolutely relate this also because, like, firsthand, I was just traveling last 2 weeks. I was traveling and I was going from Patna to Bodh Gaya, and there was quite a bit of stretch, 3 hours journey from Patna to Bodh Gaya, and we were traveling, and it was all village, and the villagers are staying in some part, and the fields are so far you cannot even imagine to travel there by foot as they go. Like we always have a scooty or a bike to go even to the smaller places, but they are traveling so far. And a woman, especially probably she's on periods, and then still she has to go so far to help her husband there and come back and then fill water. And there were no schools. So what are the children doing? No, the children just playing around here and there in that muddy places. There were no schools around, and then we are really speaking of development and not going into any politics, but yeah, parties come and go
Yes,
and they
yes.
talk so much about the vote bank which is
Yeah,
there,
definitely.
not doing anything. I was feeling that what are they doing? They're still living in the same way. And and one very stark reality which came to fore was also that they were not very dirty actually,
Hmm.
but as we reached the city area, that was the area which was more dirty.
Definitely.
Plastics and everything was filling those dumps there. Landfills were created there, but villagers were not keeping those their surroundings dirty. No, so where are we? We talk about education in the urban area, but what is that education giving to these people? Where is the wisdom? Yeah, so I would now like to ask you, what is the impact that your whole thing is creating in a smaller, as you said you are, but also in a larger scale, which is so much.
Definitely. So I'll just quickly come to the point like you shared right now about education, because this is the thing, because we come from an educated background. We feel that why they are not going to school, why they don't want to study, their life will change, they will have different experience in life if they, we often wonder when we look at them. But when you actually live among them, you'll understand that these are the first generation learners,
Yeah.
and they don't have, I would say there is always a culture at our homes, when we used to come from school and then we used to go out for play, and there was a fixed time in which we need to go and study. So these were the time that was set by our parents, because they were educated, their parents were also educated, because we
Hmm.
come from that background. Now these children are coming from a background where their parents are either a daily wage worker or
Hmm.
working at someone's place, someone's farm, cultivating and involved in agriculture, something else. So for them, they are coming from a background where they don't have this awareness, or they don't have this understanding of how education will impact their life.
Yes, very well said. Yes, very well
So
said.
it is very important, when we speak or when we think about change or calling people change maker. I think it is important to actually, rather than doing something and sitting at a place and then wondering, is it is important to experience first. It is important to go and understand that what are the challenges, and
Yeah,
that could be changed, and then we can, be at the actual change maker. Everyone can be a change maker. It does not need to have, a certain amount of money. It does not need to have certain amount of knowledge. It only
right.
needs us to be open to
Yeah,
experience.
yes,
And like you said about the hygiene, about the cleanliness. So whenever we go to a government school for our different initiatives, so the I would say the bathrooms are so clean, so clean. The school bathroom, it is amazing to see, and they wash their own utensils.
yes.
They serve, and and I have always, whenever I visit the school, I always eat the midday meal with them, because it is really really fun and really tasty, and they also enjoy us, joining them.
Yes.
And uh, and I would say that we always have this perception that, okay, the school should be like this, the school should have AC, this international curriculum, but it is also important that they should have values,
Yeah.
and we should talk about it, because the children in the rural places are washing their utensils, and they don't feel that, okay, this is not my job, I should not be doing. So
Correct.
they
Correct.
they are
Correct.
very flexible. So if a
Yeah.
person is flexible, we can always introduce new ideas and new things. And that is how our different initiatives are working on the rural aspect also, and on the urban aspect also. Because
Hmm.
we are working with higher education institutions, and more than 40 plus higher education institution, not just in India, but in Asian countries as well. So we are working with IIT Delhi, we are working with Aurobindo Foundation, and many big higher education institutions. And also we are working in the grassroots at the rural schools as well. So this actually helps us to be a, catalyst, because we are placed in between, and we are able to see the challenges in both the dimension and direction. So we have our awareness program. We also have our workshops, but we work on major four parameters. The one is we also have our international conference. So every I think in yearly we have six international conferences, and these international conferences are exclusively on sustainable development.
Yeah.
So all dimensions, all aspects of sustainability, all the 17 goals, anyone can present paper on whatever the aspect they are working on. So now when you think about health and innovation, it will also come under sustainable practices.
Yeah.
So for that, we are connected with Arvind Eye Care. I think since you are in Hyderabad, you must be knowing about Arvind Eye Care Center. So they are practicing sustainable healthcare facility.
Hmm.
Uh, it is so beautiful to see. It's more like a case study, because a person who visits that hospital is from a village. So for that person, the time is very important, because the next day they won't be able to come there. So they make sure that every checkup is done, even the operation is done in a single day. So
Okay.
that is also being sustainable with the time. Then they
Time.
have resources, like they have placed certain parameters for saving water, and they also generate very less waste when they are doing other operations like cataract and other operations. So these are
Hmm.
more like case studies. We bring these projects, and we
Hmm.
collaborate on the projects, and we bring it to the other states, and we implement it. So
Hmm.
we always have partners, and we always have researchers and organizations who are looking forward for these initiatives. So we
Hmm.
bring the case studies, we upscale the projects, and we are able to make it not geographically located or restricted to a certain place, but also introducing to other states
Right.
as well.
Wonderful. So wonderful.
So this
And
is
I,
one thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
I
please.
was wanting to tell you that other day you were talking and you were talking about happy feet. I would
Yeah.
like you to please share something on that. That will be really interesting.
So we are working on all the 17 goals exclusively when talking about the sharing happiness, under which the happy feet comes. So that is targeting good health and well-being, and gender equality, and no poverty. Because like I said, that if a person is, for a person, survival is the most important skill, then for them, growth, quality education really won't make sense. So we introduced this initiative just because I just shared the story with you last time,
Yeah.
that we used to see children, like you shared also, that women used to walk to the farms,
Yeah.
or whatever the weather is, scorchy heat, or even the winters. It is really difficult. We can't imagine, walking barefoot 4, 5, 6 kilometers.
Hmm.
And there are students, there are children, rural primary children, who are going barefoot. even though government provides uniform and educational kits and everything, but they don't have the access to footwear. So
Hmm.
we just had this thought that if we are targeting only 1% of of these rural primary children from India, so we just calculated. We had a research study of how we should target and what should be the population size. So that came around 1.4 lakh rural children. So it is a quite, that is only 1%.
Yeah,
So
I
so
know.
we just targeted for 1%, and we started this initiative, which is sharing happiness. So why we call it as a sharing happiness drive? Because it is more like an exchange of resources, whatever we have. So
Hmm.
that does not actually affect the child's self-esteem, because they'll think that, okay, I don't have this, and that is why they are giving this to me. As people call it as a donation drive.
Yeah.
So when we share something, so they we always tell that, okay, tomorrow this so we have our CSR partners, and also individually someone who has their anniversary or wants to celebrate their parents birthday, they generally contribute. So it does
Hmm.
not have a very large value. It only costs, like, if we are supporting a single child, it only costs 200 per child. So it is not a very large amount when when we can spend on parties or something else.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So whenever we discuss with the children and the teacher that tomorrow we'll be having happy feet at your place, we'll be having the sharing happiness campaign, and you need to bring cards, and you need to bring bouquets or whatever you want to prepare for that person, because that person will be getting something for you. You should
Yeah.
also get something for them. So they
Hmm.
also feel this excitement, of giving something. So they won't be
Absolutely.
feeling that I'm coming from this place,
Lower. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, lower
Yeah.
segment, so that is why I'm getting this. But they feel that, okay, I'm giving this, I'm getting this. So this is more like
Absolutely.
an exchange. So
This
that
is
is
so
why
beautiful. Yeah, very
that
beautiful.
so that is why we call it as sharing happiness. So one, that is happy feet, wherein we distribute footwear. So this is exclusive for the footwear, because there is different diseases like hookworm and other different diseases that we have done our case study on. So these diseases generally get infected or get affected through the side of the nails.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
to avoid that, we started with the footwear, and then we have our happy eyes, which exclusively work on the eye health
Yeah.
of children. So we have collaborated with Vision Spring, which is a USA based NGO. So they also are working amazingly with us, because they provide spectacles. So
Hmm.
those spectacles can bend like 180-degree, and they won't even break if elephant steps on it. So they make sure that children are going to
Yeah,
wear, so
yeah.
it should be safe for them.
Right.
And then the third initiative is Happy Smile, which is a
Fine.
dental hygiene camp. So all these three initiatives are coming under the Sharing Happiness campaign, and
Wow.
till now we have covered more than 7,000 children, rural primary children. So, but yes, I'll through this video definitely I'll love to invite people to, because this target is large, and
Yes.
it is only through a collective effort we can achieve it. So yes.
Absolutely. I also would like to share this that, yeah, this is such a beautiful initiative and such wonderful thought process goes behind this of taking care of the successors. No, we talk about the successors in our own families, but the whole of the world needs these successors, a healthy successor, so to say. So that is why it is so important to take care of them also. So this is really wonderful the way you are doing and impacting society. And I again say, as a youth, because the today's youth needs to actually realize that they are the ones who are going to get this earth, and that is their responsibility. Even if, okay, we take the responsibility of spoiling probably, but now that you have to take the responsibility to mending so far as you can do. So thank you so much, Shubhangi. One last message from you, if you would like to share for the youth especially.
Um, I believe that I won't say that I am I'm working for sustainable India. This means that I feel the privilege to share this message because I've got this opportunity from you. So I'll say three important things that I have learned from my mentors, from everyone, or from the society, or from the entrepreneurs that I have worked with. So the first thing would be my father used to always say that if you are good things will happen to you. So this is the one thing that I always keep on reminding myself, that we need to always keep the goodness alive within us,
Yes.
because we often see others, or we also complain about, how the world is, the city is very cruel, or the people in this market, they might affect you or something else, it in a very wrong way. But I
Yeah.
think that when we keep the goodness within us, we'll be also able to progress and see a world in a better dimension. So this is
Absolutely.
one thing I would say, that goodness is something that is non-negotiable, and goodness, kindness, and humility is
Yeah.
the three important factors whatever happens in life, even as if you are working at a job, or if you are an entrepreneur at a place, or you have started up your own company, that is something that is a part of your life. But there are certain values that we need to carry as a human being to grow as an individual. So this is one thing, and the second thing is to always have the courage to explore life, to experience life, and to believe in,
Yes.
no, because there are certain things that is out of our hands, and we can't always have this power or strength to control. So I
Yes.
think there is something that we need to always do our work and just sit back, because it's a Bhagavad Gita quote also,
Yeah.
that
Karam
karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. But we always think that this is something I am doing, this is
Yeah.
what I have done. So we
Yeah.
always had developed this kind of ego, that
Yeah.
okay, these are the things that I have done, I should have this kind of identity, or this kind of fame, and
Yes.
I have studied this much, I should be earning this much of money, why I'm not earning it? Because these all things come from ego. Certainly I'm sitting right now here, when other challenges come up, I might feel that way. But it's always important to check ourselves
Hmm.
as an individual and to have faith. That is
Yes.
why being born in a country which is so rich in spirituality and divinity, we need to always believe that we are born in a country where there has been a great leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Jhansi ki Rani. So these are all amazing leaders, and they come from our country. So we must always read their stories and always develop the sense of courage
Yes.
to always look at our life and to experiment with life. And the third important thing that my mother always says is not to take life seriously, and to always have humor. So
Yes.
whatever it is, even, it does not really matter about failure or success, that it is only our choice and opinion to see what we are achieving in life right now. If I am yesterday maybe got 60 marks, and tomorrow I scored like 100. So I'll say that okay, I'm successful. But what about the next day? What if I got 45? So
Yeah.
these are all like learning patterns. It is really important to understand that life is very simple, and
Yeah.
we are the only person who complicate it. So it is
Yes.
very important that nothing is permanent, and we need to always, sit back and
Joyful.
whatever we want to do, but also have the faith
Yes.
that and that our work and whatever we are doing will turn up on the right time.
Amazing, amazing. These are the words of wisdom coming from a youth. And I'm telling you, Shubhangi, there have been few of us who have been back, and even in my other talk shows, none of them have spoken so wisely as you have done today.
No, that
This
is really kind of
touched
you.
my heart, and this is really how I resonate. Like speaking of Mahatma Gandhi and Jhansi Ki Rani, these are our times we used to speak about them, and coming from you, I really want to appreciate one thing is your parents today.
Yes,
Hats off
thank
to
you.
them to be able to give you such beautiful values. So my greatest regards to them, to have such a wonderful human being who I can talk to today, and
Definitely.
they must be really proud parents. So that now that this is like a parenting also, how a parent can be so versatile in giving the kind of space to the person or to the children, and this is what the product can be. You can all see today.
Also, I would like to add one more thing to this, that we always, when as a children, we always see that, okay, a parent, my father should be like this, or should be doing these things. But we often forget that they are also humans.
Yeah.
And I think when I see my parents, my father could easily have, decided to give up all these things and could have got a really good opportunity at a workplace because he's a PhD in
Hmm.
computer science. But still, he works hard every day, at his initiative. So I think that we always need to evolve ourselves. We need not to
Yes.
restrict at certain age. My parents call, I mean, I would call them as entrepreneurs, because everyone at as an individual is an entrepreneur if they are progressing with
Yes.
the thought that I'll be doing something, what I'll
Absolutely.
be learning something. And
Yes.
we always, okay, after 30 I shouldn't be doing this, or we just restrict ourselves that, okay, I've got this job, I have a lot of responsibilities at our home. But and then after, then after retirement, people start to wonder, oh, where my time has gone.
Yeah.
I need to get back to my interest, that was music or whatever. Then they do all the other stuff. So what about the time that has been with you all the time?
Yeah, it can go simultaneously. We don't have to bifurcate our
Yes,
lives to profession, and then you have your passion, and
yes,
then you
yes.
have your purpose. All of these three things can go: profession,
we
purpose, and
always yeah we always
yeah.
become so hard on ourselves that,
Yes.
okay, right now, even when we are discussing, it's like very funny or it's very open. But when we experience it, we say that no, there is important to have stability. There is
Yeah.
nothing as stability. Even right now, if you ask yourself that are you stable, you won't be able to answer this.
Actually,
Even
yes.
right now, I won't be able to answer it. So when are we stable? There is nothing as,
Nothing, nothing.
stability.
Actually. So that is why I call myself hopepreneur. So giving hope,
Yes.
I think that is also a kind of an entrepreneur.
Yes,
So
yes,
give a
yes.
hope.
That is the most
That
important part of being an entrepreneur, to have hope.
Yes. So thank you so much, Shubhangi. I can just go on and on speaking to you. I just love the way you are really open about so many things, and you are so insightful about so many things. All the best for all your endeavors that you are having, and let lot of youth join you. Let give us also opportunity to join you, and we will together really have a safe space and a beautiful planet. Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much. It
Thank
was
you so
really
much.
wonderful. I will call out to now to all the people who are listening to this podcast. If you have a similar story regarding sustainability, if you are doing some work in sustainable field, I will request you to please ping me, and I will reach out to you, and you can be my next guest here, and we can really again start that ripple effect. So thank you so much,
Thank
Shubhangi. It
you so
was
much.
really
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste.